Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
I did a story back in January about some police officers in California who were on the job, and a call came in for a need for police help. And the officers ignored the call because they were playing Pokemon Go. And Pokemon Go, of course, swept the teenage world a couple years ago. And for some odd reason, a couple cops in LA had just kind of discovered this. And were playing Pokemon Go and ignored the call for the police to go and do something. And I did a video about this entitled LA Cops Fired for Playing Pokemon Go While Ignoring a Call. And that video went up back in January. And Jason sent me a note and said, "Hey, Steve, there's been an update to that story." I thought, wait. How do you update the story? The cops got fired. Well, it turns out that they sought to get reinstated. They thought that their firing was unlawful and unjust, and that they should not have been fired and they should be reinstated. All they were doing was ignoring their job and playing Pokemon Go. What's this world coming to? As we learned the other day, of course, law enforcement's not a profession, but even so, there need to be standards. So here's the headline from Dexerto.com, which I think is a gaming site. I found this story a couple different places, but I decided to go with this one. Michael Gwilliam wrote it for them. Cops fired for ignoring robbery to catch Snorlax in Pokemon Go, denied court review. Now, this story identifies what they were trying to catch. They were going for the Snorlax. Now, I will admit, I don't know what that is, and I don't want to know. Now, if you want to put it in the comments below and say, "Steve, here's what a Snorlax is," feel free. I really don't care. The point is, I've seen people walking around these phones supposedly playing Pokemon Go. A couple of Los Angeles Police Department officers have been denied a new court review after being fired for ignoring a robbery in progress to catch a Snorlax in Pokemon Go. And I suspect they're mentioning a Snorlax here because in this gaming community that means something. But think about this. You're in a situation where you're being robbed, and someone calls the police, "Quick, get here, there's a robbery in progress." And from watching One Adam 12, younger days of my life, I would expect those guys to light them up and floor it to come save me if I was being robbed by a robbery in progress. And instead of lighting them up and flooring it, they're going, no, hang on a second, there's a Snorlax around here somewhere. And so if you think about it, in the thought process of these two cops, in their priorities in life, at the top of the list is catch the Snorlax. Number 2 is do your job. Number 3, I'm not sure about. Earlier this year, it was reported that these officers, 2 of them, tried to catch a Snorlax. They tried to catch a Snorlax in Pokemon Go, despite getting a radio call that the Macy's at Crenshaw was being robbed, and cops had requested backup. So there's police officers there, and they've asked for backup on the radio. And I have spoken to police officers before, and I've read books about what they do. I've read books by police officers about what they do. And I can tell you that generally speaking, people joke about what it takes to get the cops to show up someplace. The one call that cops tend to jump the farthest for, the quickest for, is another officer asking for backup. So if someone calls the police, let's suppose somebody calls 911 and says, "My neighbor's playing their music too loud." And the 911 operator goes, "Okay, we'll send somebody out. It's not really an emergency, but thank you for calling. We'll send somebody out." And somebody might get out there, but it's not going to be the top of the priority list unless there's really nothing going on at that moment in time. But, if there's a crime being committed over here with someone like breaking into a car, somebody breaking into a house, whatever. But, the loud noise complaint probably won't be at the top of that priority list. But when the call comes in that other officers are asking for assistance, that's usually the one that gets them to drop everything, put the donut down, and race to the scene of the call. Race there. So here we have a radio call where cops had requested backup because of Macy's at Crenshaw was being robbed. It was in progress. It was happening now. They hadn't been robbed. They were being robbed. I know you're saying, "Steve, These verb distinctions you're making are very minor, but they're important because the police are asking for help because they want to catch these people now, not after you've caught your Snorlax. So the two officers claimed they never heard the request for backup because it was loud, resulting in their vehicle's digital video system recording being reviewed. So they said that somehow where they were was so loud they couldn't hear the call come in. On the radio, the two, however, voiced their struggles catching some of the creatures in Pokemon Go, with one yelling, and this is a quote, "Holy crap, man. This thing is fighting the crap out of me," before eventually catching a Togetic. And I apologize. These are made-up names, obviously, so it might not even be a proper pronunciation, but Togetic. It could be a soft G, I suppose. But after making the catch, they claimed that other officers would be jealous of what they caught. So apparently, these officers do not keep it a secret that they're playing Pokemon Go on the job. Hey, look what we caught today. Oh my gosh, is that a Togetic you got there? Have you guys heard anything about the Snorlax? There's a Snorlax running around out here somewhere. Hey, by the way, guys, did you hear about that robbery over at the Crenshaw Plaza with Macy's? No, I didn't hear about that, but I almost caught a Snorlax. Both officers admitted that they left their patrol to search for the Snorlax and ended up being terminated. But recently, they took their case to the California Supreme Court, as if the California Supreme Court does not have enough on its plate right now. So they went to the California Supreme Court, and the two failed to convince the California Supreme Court that the recordings were used properly in the LAPD's decision to terminate them. So I guess their real argument here was that they got terminated, and in the case against them, the video audio recordings where they're talking about fighting with the Pokemon Go monster, that was used as part of that hearing, and they sought to have that suppressed, I guess. So as reported by Bloomberg Law, the two had failed to convince the California Supreme Court that the recordings were used properly in the LAPD's decision to terminate them. So the author of this article writes, "This serves as a good lesson for any Pokemon enthusiast. Don't let your desire to catch them all get in the way of your desk job, even if you work in the public sector." So I don't know. I remember when Pokemon Go was announced as an app on a phone, and it was such a big, big deal. And it's one of those things I hadn't stopped to think about because I never played Pokemon Go in any of its iterations. I don't even know what started it, video game, card game. I don't even know. Don't know. And I'm not trying to offend people who are into it. I'm not. I just never have been. Don't know anything about it. But I remember when it was on the phones and there was a huge surge of excitement where people think, "Oh, this is the coolest thing. It's on phones. It's you can go out and play this game out in the real world," which I guess if you're a video gamer and you've been playing video games in the surreal world for the longest time, now you want to play it in the real world, you can do that. So that's that. I remember when that was cool. And so this all happened back in 2018. So this is 4 years ago now that these people were fired. But they were fired for playing Pokemon Go while on the job. And the reason that it came to somebody's attention is that that's what they were doing, apparently, at least according to the allegations, when they got the call of a need for backup at the Crenshaw Plaza because Macy's was being robbed at that moment in time, and the police wanted backup. And so right now, if I was the kind of guy writing, skits for Saturday Night Live, I can imagine doing a throwback to either Mayberry or One Adam 12, and the call comes in, and no, hang on a second, I almost got a Snorlax. Sorry, Andy, I can't help you. There's a Snorlax nearby, and quite frankly, that Snorlax is a higher priority than the officers asking for help at the robbery in progress. So it was a crazy story. And this gets us back to the idea about whether or not cops are professionals, whether they're practicing a profession or not. I don't know. So the story is from Dexerto.com, Dexerto, Dexerto.com. Michael Gwilliam wrote it, and it's an update to the story. I'll put the video that I did previously in the link below in the description of this video. But update, cops fired for ignoring robbery to catch Snorlax in Pokemon Go denied court review by the California Supreme Court. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. Laughter is the best medicine. Unless you're diabetic, then insulin comes pretty high on the list.